The daily IELTS. Will word count affect writing score? Good evening, guys. This is Harry Fu. You're not that famous, but I've been teaching IELTS for 12 years teacher who scored a 9 in the speaking component last year. Today, we are going to talk about one of the most enduring mysteries in IELTS evaluation. Will word count affect your score? Well, it is still a mystery because there are too many voices giving mutually contradictory advice. First of all, the official tone in many of the annual conferences for the past a lot of years is that word count will not affect the writing score as long as the number of words for both tasks exceed respectively their minimum word count requirements. It's 150 for task 1, 250 for task 2. And nothing about the influence of word count is mentioned in the official band descriptors, neither. So this is the descriptors. However, there are many IELTS trainers worldwide still encouraging their students to write as many words as possible, since they have seen that the candidates with long passages can often not attain better scores. So basically, this is a battle between the oppressor, the Cambridge assessment with their rules, and the oppressed IELTS trainers with their first-hand experience. Well, my experience of taking IELTS in 5 countries in the past 3 years can help me conclude that geographic location may have a play in this word count biz. Now, firstly, in China, word count matter not much, especially in tasks 2, but I still advise Chinese candidates to write around 300 words, since the structures we use in China need that many words to relatively fully develop. You see, like this, 2 paragraphs with the 2 or 3 ideas in each. However, I do not recommend Chinese candidates write more than 220 words in task 1, because it contradicts the task requirement of selecting information instead of writing down everything we can observe from the graphs. We can see that the samples given in Cambridge IELTS are of limited word counts for task 1. So these are the samples. You see the number? We all know that the writing tests are more strictly scored in China, so Chinese candidates should be more careful with these details. However, the situation in India, Nepal, and the majority of Southeast Asian countries are a bit different. After taking tests in Nepal and some other countries and the in-depth talks with the IELTS trainers there, I believe it is relatively safe to say that the writing task 2 in the fourth-mentioned countries welcome a higher number of words. As a close friend of mine, Dr. Marka, a highly respected and popular IELTS teacher in India, once said, one should write as smoothly and as many words as possible in task 2. The cost to this, I think, may have something to do with the popular mind there. We can frequently see the local candidates in Nepal and Malaysia ask for additional writing answer sheet, which is a much less common scene in test halls in China. Now, additional advice for the candidates in South Asia and Southeast Asia. Write no more than 220 words in task 1 and preferably 360 words in task 2. So far, we have covered the largest percentage of IELTS test takers worldwide, but there are also quite a lot of candidates taking IELTS in England, Australia, and Canada, as they are, studying in the language schools or participating in bridge courses. For you, I must very unfortunately say I have not found a definitive scoring trend in terms of word count. It is therefore best for you to learn and practice as the band descriptors mandate and worry less about how much words you can write. Okay, so that's all for today. Hope that I have shed some light on the word count issue for you. And as always, this is Harry Fu, your not at all funny IELTS guide. For more learning on IELTS, please follow me on my personal WeChat, which is Strive for 19. Please stay tuned for our next episode.